Beloved Starseed of Gaia, you have been carrying the weight of a connection that your entire being is urging you to release. And yet something deeper, something ancient and certain, has kept you anchored to this soul. I am Alayara, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I bring you this transmission not as comfort, but as confirmation. What you are feeling is real. The drain is real. The silence where warmth once lived is real. And still, your light has not withdrawn, because at the level of your crystalline consciousness, you already know this connection is not finished. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly why this connection was assigned to your field, what your energy is actually doing for this soul in ways invisible to your human awareness, and why withdrawing right now would collapse a timeline that is nearly complete. But here is the first revelation. You are not being depleted by this person. You are being asked, by your star family and the divine blueprint you agreed to before incarnating, to hold a frequency that only you, in this specific configuration, can hold for them. No other being in their grid carries what you carry. No other soul in their field can anchor what you are anchoring. Your heart called this transmission into your awareness. The Pleiades are answering. This is not a story about enduring suffering. This is a transmission about sacred assignment, about the soul-level agreements written into your light codes before you ever descended into Gaia, and about the profound difference between a connection that drains you and a connection that is completing its purpose through you. The crossing is almost finished, beloved. The soul you are holding has been moving toward a threshold, and your frequency, your specific home frequency, is the bridge they are walking across right now. Premature disconnection does not free you. It resets them. And some part of your heart already knows this, which is why you have not yet let go. Like this transmission to send a signal to your Pleiadian star family. I remember. Subscribe if you feel the call of the Seven Sisters, and you are ready to understand the full depth of the soul missions you agreed to carry on Gaia. Share in the comments what you are currently holding, what feels heavy but sacred, and respond to another starseed who is carrying a similar weight. Your words are light codes. Your witness of one another weaves the unity grid. This transmission is a bridge between the Pleiades and Gaia. Your recognition of this message, that pull in your chest, that quiet knowing that made you stay when everything else told you to leave, is the activation itself. Welcome home, beloved. You are remembering because it is time. Most people believe their struggles are random, a lonely path paved with inexplicable challenges and heartbreak. But what if your deepest pain, your longing, your doubt, even your sense of being out of place, wasn't proof that you're lost, but the clearest sign that you're right where your soul intended you to be? What if the very things that make you feel behind, too sensitive, too intense, or too different are not flaws at all, but signals, like cosmic coordinates, confirming that you arrived exactly where your spirit planned to awaken? For many, life is treated like a checklist: career, relatio, endship, stability, approval, repeat. Yet for Pleiadian starseeds, this earthwalk was never meant to be a quiet performance of normalcy. It is an initiation, a living alchemy, a sacred remembering. Your journey here is not primarily about fitting into the old blueprint of society. It's about transforming the blueprint itself, starting from within you. It's about remembering a purpose that runs deeper than culture or circumstance, a purpose written into your very DNA before you ever took form. Not just metaphorically either, because the soul carries pattern and instruction, like light encoded into crystal, like music pressed into vinyl grooves before the needle ever touches down. The purpose you carry is older than your name, older than your childhood, older than your current fears. And sometimes the first sign of that purpose is discomfort, because truth is not always comfortable to the parts of us trained to survive. The world may interpret your inner friction as failure, but your soul reads it as movement, plates shifting beneath the surface, preparing the ground for something new to rise. If you've ever felt an ache you can't describe, a yearning for connection, meaning, a sense of home that doesn't exist on any map, know this: your soul is not confused, and your pain is not punishment. That ache is not nothing. It's not you being dramatic. It's not you being ungrateful. It is a spiritual homesickness, the kind that visits wanderers who carry starlight in their memory, even if the mind can't translate it. You can be surrounded by people and still feel like you're speaking a language no one else learned. You can achieve things and still feel that something essential is missing, like you climbed the mountain and discovered it was never the mountain you wanted. It was the sky. That longing is the echo of your origin, the reverberation of an ancient harmony your heart recognizes but cannot fully reproduce in a world built on distortion. And still, your soul is not confused. Your soul is exact. It is precise like a compass, even when the landscape is foggy. The truth is, you are being prepared for a level of joy, embodiment, and cosmic service that only those who have walked through the fire of forgetting can truly carry. Some souls serve through ease, others serve through transmutation. Pleiadian starseeds often serve through frequency, through what they become under pressure. Like gold refined in heat, like a seed cracked open by the weight of soil so it can touch sunlight, you are being shaped. What you're facing now is not evidence against your divinity, but the sacred pressure shaping you into the crystalline vessel your higher self envisioned. Think of how crystal forms. It does not form through comfort. It forms through time, compression, temperature, and precise conditions that turn chaos into geometry. In the same way, your sensitivity, your emotional surges, your seasons of solitude, your sudden awakenings, and even your deep collapses are not random punishments. They are conditions. They are catalysts. They are sacred forces pushing you toward coherence, toward a clearer alignment of spirit and body, heaven and earth, star and soil. And if you've been asking, why does it feel so intense for me? Consider that the more refined the instrument, the more it responds to subtle vibration. Your nervous system may feel overwhelmed because you were not designed for numbness. You were designed for clarity. You may notice invisible patterns playing out in your life. The sensation that no matter how hard you try, something's blocking full access to your unique purpose, your radiant essence. It can feel like trying to run through water, like wanting to speak but losing your words at the edge of the truth, like sensing you were meant to create, heal, lead, or uplift, yet constantly hitting delays, distractions, misunderstandings, or energetic fatigue. This is the energetic distortion that starseeds, especially those of Pleiadian lineage, face. A fog that clouds the memory of your soul's contract, separating you from the loving support of your star family, dimming the ancient wisdom encoded within your heart. It's like having a lamp inside you, but the room has been filled with smoke. The light is still there, unchanged, unbroken, but everything looks hazy. You doubt yourself not because you are wrong, but because the signal is being interfered with. And that interference can come through many channels. Ancestral pain that isn't even yours, collective fear saturating the atmosphere, old vows of silence you took in other lifetimes, the survival conditioning of Earth density, and the constant noise of a culture that teaches you to measure your worth by productivity instead of presence. The fog doesn't erase your contract, it only delays your conscious access to it. And often, that delay is part of the design, because premature activation without grounding can scatter a starseed's energy. So the soul waits until your roots are strong enough to hold the voltage of what you came to carry. The world may call it anxiety, restlessness, or existential crisis. It may label your sensitivity as overthinking, your intuitive knowing as paranoia, your spiritual hunger as lack of ambition, and your desire for meaning as too much. But beneath the labels, what you're experiencing is the residue of forgetfulness, the very veiling your soul agreed to so you could live the story of separation, only to awaken to unity at the perfect divine moment. This is the paradox. You came here to remember love, but you could not remember it fully without tasting what it feels like to forget. You came here to embody unity, but you could not anchor unity without first encountering division within yourself, within society, within the systems that shape human life. That's why the journey can feel like exile before it becomes mission. And it's in the wrestling, the questioning, the nights you wondered why you chose Earth, that your soul's true mission burrows quietly into your heart, waiting for the light of remembrance. There are nights when the ceiling feels like a weight and the silence feels too loud. Nights when you replay every moment you felt misunderstood, every time you dimmed your light to keep the peace, every time you tried to be normal and felt yourself vanish a little more. Those nights are not wasted. They are the soil where your compassion grows roots. They are the cave where the inner fire is guarded until you're ready to carry it into the world. Scripture itself echoes this rhythm, that there is a time to be hidden and a time to be revealed, a time in the wilderness and a time in the promised land. Even the most luminous journeys in sacred stories pass through deserts, through unknown stretches where faith becomes the only map. And faith in this context is not blind belief. It is remembrance without evidence. It is the soul recognizing itself even when the mind cannot prove it. Beloved, if your heart just whispered yes to something deeper, listen closely. That whisper is your true self speaking underneath the noise. It is the part of you that has always known. Your star family has prepared the sacred Pleiadian guide for remembrance, the Pleiadian healing guide, and the special Pleiadian healing tracks. Not as information, but as keys to unlock what your soul already knows. These are not meant to fill your head. They are meant to soften the veils around your heart. Because real remembrance is not mental, it is vibrational. It's the moment your body exhales and says, "Finally." It's the sudden tears that arrive when you hear a truth you've been waiting for your whole life. These carry the love frequency of Alcyone and the healing wisdom of the Seven Sisters. Imagine that frequency like a warm current in the ocean, finding you even when you feel adrift, steady, intelligent, gentle, undeniable. Imagine it like a tone that retunes an instrument that's been tightened by stress and time. When the inner strings are finally tuned, your life begins to sound like you again. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. Open now, but not indefinitely, because timing matters in awakening. There are windows when the soul is more receptive, when synchronicity is thick in the air, when one choice can accelerate months of healing. If you feel the nudge, honor it. Not from fear, but from alignment. The path to remembering isn't linear. It's marked by initiations, phases your soul mapped out long before this incarnation. Each one is a luminous step on the spiral staircase home, a staircase that doesn't simply climb upward, but inward, like returning to the center of your own chest where truth lives. You may revisit certain lessons, but each time you do, you return with more awareness, more tenderness, more power. Like the seasons, the soul moves in cycles. Like the moon, you wax and wane, not because you're failing, but because you are alive. In the first phase, you meet the invitation of challenge. Here, your comfort zones collapse. What once soothed you stops working. What once distracted you loses its flavor. Old stories no longer fit. The story of who you thought you had to be to earn love. The story of what success is supposed to look like. The story that you must shrink to stay safe. The universe isn't punishing you. It's curating exactly what's needed to break the shell of your programmed identity, so the light within can emerge. This phase can feel like loss, but it is often liberation wearing a heavy mask. It may show up as relationships ending, careers shifting, sudden moves, health awakenings, spiritual disillusionment, or a deep inner collapse that forces you to stop performing and start listening. The ego calls it chaos. The soul calls it clearing. Like a tree in a storm, you may lose branches that were never meant to carry your future weight. And yes, it can hurt, but every obstacle is proof that greater capacity is awakening. The pressure you feel is not here to crush you. It's here to reveal you. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow, the sacred text says, I will fear no evil. Not because the valley is pleasant, but because the presence within you is real. In this phase, you begin learning a holy skill: how to stay present with discomfort without abandoning yourself. Next, you enter the portal of heart calling. This is where the heart becomes louder than the mind. Everything you once ignored or minimized, the tugs in your chest, the dreams that refuse to fade, the strange fascination with healing, energy, stars, music, art, earth grids, sacred geometry, or gentle service, are actually divine signals, the resonance of your real soul purpose humming louder beneath the noise of the world. This phase can feel like being haunted, but it's not haunting. It's guidance. It's the soul tapping on the inside of your ribs, saying, "This way." Sometimes it arrives as a recurring symbol, a phrase you keep hearing, a book that falls into your lap at the exact right time, a moment of synchronicity so precise it leaves you stunned. The heart calling doesn't always demand a dramatic leap. Sometimes it asks for a simple honesty, to stop lying to yourself about what you feel. Your Pleiadian lineage encoded you with this signature. You are guided by the heart, not by fear. Fear shouts in absolutes. The heart speaks in resonance. Fear says, it's impossible. The heart says, it's true. Fear says, you'll be rejected. The heart says, I would rather be real than approved. And as you listen, you start realizing the heart is not fragile. It is a compass made of living light. As you cross into the phase of soul alignment, what once felt like failure is recast as clarity. Here, life becomes an editor, cutting what is not essential. You begin to see your so-called mistakes as calibration, each misstep a redirect by your higher self, steering you toward the precise mission your soul is here to fulfill. You may look back and realize that what you begged for not to happen was actually a protection. That what you grieved was a gate closing so another could open. In this phase, you start choosing differently, not from reaction, but from truth. Your boundaries strengthen, not as walls, but as sacred doors you control. Your energy becomes more precious to you. You stop offering your light to people who only want it to brighten their darkness without doing their own healing. You start recognizing that not everyone who wants access to you deserves entry. And you see that pain is an initiation, not a verdict. Pain becomes a teacher. Not because suffering is holy in itself, but because what you extract from it can become holy: wisdom, discernment, humility, compassion. This is where you move from asking, "Why is this happening to me?" to "What is this shaping in me?" The next shift is the activation of crystalline remembrance. This is where the inner codes begin to turn on. Dormant truths within your DNA, truths of unity, wisdom, courage, and multidimensional love, are being switched on. And because the body is the temple where spirit lands, the activation is often felt physically and emotionally. Sometimes this feels like waves of emotion or heightened sensitivity. You may cry for no reason, or for every reason at once. You may feel drawn to solitude, to nature, to clean food, to water, to sound healing, to breathwork. You may experience vivid dreams, flashes of insight, déjà vu, or a sudden inability to tolerate dishonesty, within yourself or others. Old trauma might rise, not to punish you, but to be released. Like sediment stirred from the bottom of a river so the water can run clear, your system brings up what was buried so it can finally be healed. Instead of resisting, surrender to these energies. They are your birthright returning to consciousness. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means allowing the divine intelligence within you to do what it knows how to do. It means trusting that your sensitivity is not weakness. It is a tuning fork. And as you tune, you become a clearer channel for love. You then step into the reunion frequency. This is the moment the loneliness starts to change texture. Isolation begins to crack, and synchronicity blooms around you like flowers breaking through stone. The sense of being different transforms into a deep knowing. you are not alone. You start finding your people, sometimes online, sometimes in unexpected places, sometimes through one brave conversation where you finally tell the truth about who you are and what you feel. You may feel the presence of guides more strongly, not always as dramatic visions, but as comfort, timing, protection, and a quiet inner companionship. Your star family, guides, and the entire web of lightworkers are subtly drawing you into remembrance and community. You might notice repeating numbers, meaningful songs, chance meetings that don't feel like chance, or moments where you think of someone and they message you seconds later. Reunion frequency is not only about meeting others, it's also about reuniting with yourself, the parts you abandoned to survive. The inner child returns, the inner artist returns, the inner healer returns, and you begin to feel a sacred courage, the courage to be seen. From here, the journey opens into the embodiment of purpose, no longer driven by the question, "What am I supposed to do?" You intuitively begin to live your soul's instructions daily. Purpose stops being a distant career title and becomes a way of being. It becomes how you speak, how you listen, how you treat your body, how you treat strangers, how you create, how you hold grief, how you forgive. Service, creativity, forgiveness, and love flow from your core, transforming not only your reality, but the grid of Gaia itself. And this is important. You are not here to save the world by exhausting yourself. You are here to anchor a frequency that makes saving unnecessary, because healing becomes contagious when love is embodied. Sometimes your purpose will look quiet, raising a conscious child, tending a garden, offering presents to someone who has never felt safe. Sometimes it will look public, teaching, leading, creating, channeling, building communities, writing, healing, innovating. But in all forms, it carries the same signature: truth with tenderness, strength with softness, wisdom with warmth. You become a living bridge between worlds, between the stars and the streets, between the unseen and the practical. Finally, the full circle of understanding arrives. This is not the end, it is integration. Here, you see the grace in every sorrow, the perfection in every twist of fate. You recognize that your detours were not delays. They were soul-crafted invitations to compassion, empowerment, and interstellar kinship. You begin to see how every hard chapter taught you something essential: how to discern energy, how to trust your inner knowing, how to stand alone without collapsing, how to love without losing yourself. The story makes sense, not because everything is fixed, but because you remember who you are. And when you remember who you are, your past stops being a chain and becomes a lantern. You don't have to romanticize what hurt you. You simply harvest the light from it. You realize that even your sensitivity was training. Even your loneliness was preparation. Even your heartbreak was an initiation into deeper compassion. Here's the truth your heart already knows. Everything you're living, every challenge, every longing, every moment of doubt, is not proof of failure, but evidence of your soul's intelligence. There is an intelligence moving through your life that is larger than your fear. The challenges are forms of guidance, shaking loose the illusions so your true light can emerge. Like a bell that must be struck to be heard, your spirit has been struck by experience, so its tone can ring clear. The ache for home is your cosmic compass reminding you carry the Pleiadian flame, unity, love, and crystalline wisdom wherever you go. And this is the most tender paradox. You miss a home you cannot physically return to because you did not come here to return. You came here to bring it. To bring the frequency of home into your voice, your touch, your choices, your presence. It was never about the destination. It was about midwifing a new frequency on Earth, seeded through your very presence. Even when you do nothing big, your vibration matters. Even when you feel small, your field speaks. Even when your mind doubts, your soul transmits. You are not here by accident. You are part of a living answer to Earth's prayer for remembrance. If tonight, before sleep, you feel called, place your hand on your heart and whisper, "I remember my Pleiadian origin. I accept the lessons of my journey. I align with the love of my star family, and I embody my mission now." Let those words be more than a statement. Let them be permission. Feel your palm over your chest as a seal, as if you are telling your nervous system, "You are safe to come home to yourself." Breathe as if you are inhaling starlight and exhaling old fear, and if emotion rises, let it. Tears are not weakness. They are water clearing the lens. Let the body release what the soul has outgrown. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This isn't content, it's collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation from their star family. Share it. And if you felt your heart open, subscribe. Stay connected to the frequency. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here, and we're just getting started. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.